Out of every 10 Nigerians do not pay tax. You see, it's bad. I mean, there are parents that can barely afford to pay rent. It's okay. These people struggle to feed their bills through. It's almost impossible for them to pay out taxes. Tax reforms are a great idea. But when you consider the current tax environment of the Southwest, it's not the most viable. Charges budgets. I am Oladipo Adeola from the Lagos State University, and I'm here to convince us that accelerating our economic growth is a viable solution to the Southwest debt spiral as opposed to a tax reform. Now, you might not agree with me, and I mean, I'm not Jesus. I can't go water into mine, but I'll pour your views into mine at the end of this debate. You see, to be more valuable than the other, it has to work better, be more practicable, and be more sustainable. Accelerating our economic growth takes all three of these boxes. To begin with, it works better. If our government wants to accelerate our economic growth, it needs the power to create more enterprises. In other words, more jobs. And since more people are making more money, more tax is going to be paid. So we see that accelerating our economic growth in one way or the other does some things that the tax reform will do. But what makes it even more valuable is that it doesn't stop there. It does a lot more. Accelerating our economic growth would improve the average standard of living, increase the average income of an individual, increase the average government revenue, all while ultimately alleviating the risk of high debt. So it's established that it won't be lot better than the tax reform. But wait, it's not all jobs. When you want to try something new, it's never a bad idea to check first if it has worked for other people. So,
debt that we see is like a relentless tide, but with each ebb and flow comes a choice for either the pursuit of development or for the development of our fiscal foundation. And by fiscal foundation, I mean our tax systems. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed audience, pile of judges, I am here to speak on the debt spiral situation in the southwestern Nigeria. You see, the current situation proves that the situation is quite perplexing and appalling as we have a debt profile of over 2 trillion naira. This means that urgent steps need to be taken, and these steps need to be taken proactively. That then leads us to the next step. Which way do we take? Do we go the way of accelerated economic development, or do we go to the path of tax reforms? For the purpose of elucidation, I shall break these two concepts down. Accelerated economic development, according to Mondak, means urgent steps taken by the government to ensure that the infrastructure capacity of any society has been improved upon, and as such, we have benefits. And with benefits comes disadvantage as well. Benefits of accelerated economic development would include increased jobs for the masses, increased investment through the development of infrastructural facilities, and also we have increased standard of living. Not only do we have this, we have people coming in, which translates to increase in foreign direct investments, which is what the government of Nigeria basically wants.
all right, my name is Brian Michael. I'm from the University of Ibadan. My father once told me something. He said, you become mature the day you realize that in life, just because you did something good doesn't necessarily mean you did something right. Because good isn't always the same as right. Ladies and gentlemen, judges, I can finally understand what my dad meant. Because today, in a need to overcome the debt spiral of the Southwest, two options are proposed. One, we can accelerate economic growth. Or two, we can choose to reform. Now, both options are good, but only one is right. Accelerated economic growth, according to Investopedia, refers to a significant increase in the nation's overall input, which is usually characterized by an increase in the economic activities of the nation. Now, on the other hand, tax reform, according to the same source, refers to changes in the nation's taxing system, either by changing the tax rates, changing the tax structure, or in total changing the tax policies itself. to try something new, it's never a bad idea to check first if it has worked for other people. So let's do that. Take South Korea. After an Asian financial crisis, they have accumulated a debt to GDP ratio of about 60%. They decided to fix this by accelerating their economic growth. Did it work for them? It worked for them. It worked so well, it was later titled the Korean Miracle. This was published in a paper by the Helen Keller Institute of International Studies, which is a reputable institution for research on global challenges. So to take up the first box, we need to go better. The answer is a capital S. Moving on to the next box. It's government. If the government wants to bring up our debt using the tax reform, it means more money has to be gotten from taxation. In other words, more people will pay more tax. Now, this is a big idea. Considering that on the 18th of August 2022, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) revealed that 133 million Nigerians live on less than $2 a day. As at the time this was published, that was less than $1,000 every day. This is already a huge financial storm. Increasing taxation is like adding salt to the injury, and it's not one that's going to be readily accepted by the poor. On the other hand, as a result of economic growth, it's a lot easier to practice because rather than paying on citizens, it removes the burden from citizens as it improves the overall standard of living. So to take up the second box, is it more practical? The answer once again is a capital S.
Last, just like our left hand and our right hand, they are opposites sometimes to each other. We also have disadvantages of accelerated economic development. You know, the first one will be time constraints. Accelerated economic development does not just happen. It takes time. Even China that we regard as a world economy now took a period of 40 years between 1979 to what we have in the current 2010s. This means that accelerated economic development does not just happen. It builds, and this might take time, that even the debts might finish the region. Also, we have environmental pollution. You know, this has been reported in countries like Kuwait and Bahrain, which are suffering from oil spillage and all other environmental defects. Yes, they say we want accelerated economic development, but this all comes with certain defects and certain challenges. Moving on to tax reform, I shall break down the benefits and also the disadvantages that this might come along with. Tax reform, following the definition of moderate as well, means measures taken by the government to improve upon the tax policy or even the tax rate. Currently, we operate a progressive tax rate for most individuals in Nigeria. This means that on every, as our salaries or as our incomes increase, our tax rate equally increases. Definitely, this means that the benefit is we have increased revenue for the government. The government has more money to work with and to even work upon projects. Also, tax reforms comes with a sense of fiscal efficiency. As you see in countries like Albania and Luxembourg, when they work upon their tax reforms, there is fiscal efficiency within the governmental structures. However, it also comes with certain challenges. Nigeria as it is now might not be particularly ready for that tax reform, as we have certain administrative bottlenecks and bureaucratic hindrances that might not make this work out.
According to a 2020 report by the Debt Sustainability Index, it states that the southwestern governments have a combined total debt of over 2 trillion naira, and this keeps increasing every year. We have to solve this problem, and so it is necessary that we assess the two options proposed today and decide which of them is the viable option. To do this, we must ask 3 key questions. Question 1: which option tackles the root problem? According to a 2020 Harvard Business Review, it states that the strength of a nation is defined by the government's ability to invest in key sectors that can boost and sustain economic growth. Unfortunately, over the years, the southwestern governments have totally failed to invest in these key sectors. I mean, according to a 2022 report by the budget, it shows that in Ogun State, agriculture, which is the vital sector, has less than a 5% investment by the government, and the southwest is losing over $200 billion annually for failing to invest in the industrial mining sector. Let's already talk about our textile industry that keeps failing every day to the point that we import almost everything we use, including the fabric we use to make our bananas.
Insights Media.